Aunt Ruby's German Green is one of the most known family heirloom tomatoes. It is named after Ruby Arnold, who got the seeds from her German grandfather. The seeds were later passed on to the Seed Savers Exchange, where it quickly became a popular heirloom variety. Today it's next to the green zebra, probably the most popular green when ripe tomato. The plant has a very vigorous growth and big leaves, so use strong and tall stakes. The growth of the plant doesn't stop when it sets fruit, so you can expect a big plant at the end of the growth season. It's relatively productive if the summer temperatures aren't too high, otherwise the flowers don't get pollinated and the yield is smaller. Its fruits are big beefsteaks which have often an irregular shape. The size varies and the biggest fruits can weigh up to half a kilogram. If you never grew green tomatoes, you are probably questioning yourself now, how can you tell when the tomato is ripe? It's actually quite easy with most varieties. There are green tomatoes which have a transparent skin, and even when they are fully ripe, it's hard to tell and you have to rely on touching them to see if they are ripe. Luckily, that's not the case with most green tomatoes, and that also goes for Aunt Ruby's German Green. When the fruits ripe, the color of the skin changes, and it gets an amber tone. Some fruits also get a pink blush on the bottom, which also goes into the surrounding area. The fruits of this variety are very fragile, so you have to be careful with them, otherwise they will bruise. The inside is meaty, but it has more seeds than most beefsteak tomatoes. The taste is excellent and has a sweet flavor. Many people who haven't tried green when ripe tomatoes yet have a prejudice and think that they are very sour, but that's almost never the case. Most of the varieties actually have a way sweeter taste than red tomatoes. This tomato can be used in any kind of recipe, if you don't mind the color. A lot of people say that Aunt Ruby's German Green is the best tasting green tomato. Personally, I consider it the third best green tomato. I prefer two other varieties, which are Evergreen and, excuse me for my pronunciation, but I think it's called Matalyushka Shkatulka. It's a Russian variety which I will also do a video on. It's actually my favorite tomato. When it comes to disease resistance, I noticed that early blight doesn't affect this tomato as much as other varieties, but it's a different story with late blight, which can cause a lot of damage. The fruits also often crack, so keep that in mind if you want to grow this variety. I have also read online that a lot of people say that this variety has way bigger chances to get its flowers cross-pollinated, and because of that the seeds don't come out true. I personally didn't have such an experience yet. If you want to save seeds, the best thing to prevent cross-pollinating is to cover the flowers with a net so that the bumblebees can't get to them. Tomatoes are self-pollinators and don't need insects to pollinate. The only thing required is movement. If you grow plants outside, then the wind normally pollinates the flowers because it causes movement. Bottom line, Aunt Ruby's German Green is a variety that I will probably grow every year. I really like it.